Good morning, here I am in the kitchen again, and today I'm going to cook a pasta dish that's one of Indian Freya's favourite. So they'll be coming for lunch today and I'm going to make a ragu for them. So quite a few ingredients for it. We need, in the way of vegetables, it's supposed to be onion in the recipe, but I like to put a couple of leeks in as well. So onion, leeks, celery and carrots, which you fry in some butter and olive oil. Some really nice olive oil here that we had from the hotel that we stayed in. Then we have pancetta and mincemeat, which we add the milk and wine to, and some tomato puree. And it has to cook for a long time, so I'm going to get it on now. So the recipe says to fry the pancetta, which is here, for 3 to 4 minutes. So I've got my fryer on the go. Mr. Batley's going to do some cooking.
People have asked me about the sharpening knives. How do I sharpen my knife? So I think it's really important to have a sharp knife, and I use a steel, and it's just really, every now and again, when I feel it's getting blunt, just give it a little bit of a sharpen.
You see real chefs doing that, don't you?
I don't know if I'm a real chef. So this is the pancetta, and we're just going to cut it up into small chunks like that.
Yes, please.
So just small chunks like that, and you see a sharp knife gets through it quite quickly. Yeah.
Pancetta here is quite different than the one you get in England. I think in England it's a lot more
fatty.
Fatty maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
It's really nice here.
Could use scissors for this, of course.
Which I would. So pancetta's all being chopped up here. So there is the pancetta all nicely chopped up. Thank you to Steve for that. And I forgot to mention that we do have some stock cubes in it in a minute. So we've got the pan on to boil, pan on to cook here, and in goes the pancetta. Don't need any oil or fat in this, so let's just see. There is more than it says in the recipe here, which is what we usually do because we will freeze some or use it for another day. We really like leftovers. So we'll have a look at that when it's cooked a little bit more. So while that's cooking away merrily, we're going to have the onion chopped up and all the rest of the vegetables still. I'm only going to use a small onion because we're going to put those leeks in. I've just been to Mercadona at about 9 o'clock this morning to get the ingredients, and a man was coming out with leeks. I thought, yeah, I think I'll use leeks in mine. So now we're going to trim the leeks, and these leeks always remind me of our friends Robin, Martin and Leek. Sending them all our love. Really nice leeks here. Watch your fingers, Mr. Bagley. And we have actually used those bits before to make lasagna instead of pasta. Put those bits on instead of the pasta. It's been delicious. We need to actually do that again, don't you think? Really nice leeks going on the way there. It is frying away nicely here. The fat's starting to come out. Didn't need any oil or butter in it. Cooking away, and I'm going to add the mincemeat to that in a minute. So the leeks are all nicely chopped here, and we're going to put them in the colander and give them a wash. You never know with leeks, sometimes they've got bits of earth on them, so we'll just give them a little bit of wash, and that will also help to separate them as well. I think this is ready for the mincemeat now. All nicely cooked there. Plenty of pancetta there. So we have some delicious looking mincemeat here, fresh from Mercadona. When we first came to live here, mincemeat was horrible. I remember Steve going to the market on the bus, coming back with this mincemeat that was awful, wasn't it? Remember? Oh, it was. Look at this lovely mincemeat here. So this is going to have a nice fry with the pancetta. Here we have the mince cooking nicely with the pancetta. Then we're going to take all this out and do the veg. It's supposed to be in what oil's left over. I don't think there'll be any oil, do you? It's not fatty at all. I suppose it's much better for you. So I've told my sous chef I'd like the carrots cut quite small, so let's see if he does a good job with them. I'm really enjoying watching MasterChef The Professionals at the moment, one of my favourite programmes. I really like Marcus Waring. Sorry, dog. And it's really good. Some of these chefs have just made so many mistakes, and it's just nice to see that they're human. Nicely chopped carrots there. So we have the mince and the pancetta nicely cooked there. Smelling nice as well. All nicely cooked, and now the next thing we have to do is to take this out. So I've got my bowl here, ready to go in. A slotted spoon to transfer it to the bowl. And off we go. We have turned the gas off as well while we do this. There should be some nice meat juices there to do the veg in after we've done this. And now we're going to do the same with the celery. Put that up nice and small as well. Right, ready for the next stage. There's the pan that we fried all the meat in. We're going to put some butter and olive oil in, and then we're going to fry the onions. Here we have the butter and the onions frying in the butter. And these chefs on the television, when they're cooking, use so much butter, but it does make things taste nicer. We're going to add the leeks as well. Give those a good fry. They're also going to be so happy to have this meal again today. They haven't had it for quite a while. We just realised we haven't put any olive oil in, so we're just going to add a little bit of this delicious homegrown olive oil. And we think that the onions and leeks are cooking very well there, so now we're going to add this bit of colour. Delicious carrots and celery, there we go. Good mix in, and cook for another minute or so. Quite a nice healthy meal, I suppose, here, isn't it? Until we start adding a bit of vino. So those have been cooking away, and now we've got to stir in the browned mince, and in it goes. In. We're going to do this in this big pan, isn't it? I believe we only got us and two little girls for lunch. Anybody else like to come? You are quite welcome. So I think I've heard James Martin tell me that what makes this actually into a ragu is the milk. So we've got some milk here, about 500 millilitres. We're just going to pour that in. And then just leave it to simmer for a few minutes. So that has been bubbling away nicely for a few minutes. We've had the lid on a bit. Steve's a great believer in lids. I'm not really. So now we're going to add the tomato puree. It says 4 tablespoons, so we're going to add all of this. it a nice red colour as well. So it's quite a time-consuming dish. This is why you do need time to do this. And it's only since we've been retired really that we've had time to do things like this. But it's really good fun. And so it's been retired. And as you can see on my sous chef's apron here, there's a demonstration. Retirement is the life. Beer, barbecue and working in the house. Where's that one come from? I haven't done that one yet. Anyway, back to the food. Still listen. So contrary to what people think about me and my wine drinking, and we all know I like a glass of wine, this wine's from last Thursday, so it might have gone off actually. So I only had one glass a night I've had, not much. So we're going to put the red wine in here now. So here we have our stock, which is an oxo and some chicken cubes, and it seems a lot, but it's going to simmer away for a long, long time. So in that goes, nice and gently. There it is, and that's all done now, except for the salt and pepper. We need to add some seasoning to that, and that's going to simmer for 1.5 to 2 hours. And now it's time for a little sit down, so what better can we wish for than a nice cup of coffee and one of my homemade mince pies here.
Oh, thank you.
That was actually for Steve, so just to show you inside them. They've got my homemade mincemeat in them. And my lovely knitting mug here. Knitting keeps me from unravelling. So cheers, and we'll have a look at the ragu when it's finished. I did want to mention this wine, which I forgot to do before. This is Abadia Mantrus, and this is from Mercadona, and it's really nice as well. Just a nice.
It's Ribera del Duero, and it's a Reserva.
It is very nice. So it's time for the tagliatelle to go in. This is from Mercadona as well, and this is fresh pasta, and it doesn't take very long to cook at all. 3 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 3 minutes. So this tagliatelle only takes 3 minutes to cook, and we drain it. Well, Steve drains it. And then we're going to mix it together with the pasta. And then we'll have a delicious lunch ready.
Put the sauce, some of the sauce into a pan already, so I'll just mix the two.
So here we are ready to serve, and it's a bit long. And we've got some very hungry young ladies here. So we'll see how much we can see. Alexa, stop. And just to finish off, some delicious Parmesan cheese.